Jonathan Rugman. Well, joining us now live from Tehran is the Secretary General of Iran's National Security Council, Ali Larijani, in his first live interview with British television since the crisis began. He'll be speaking through a simultaneous translator. Dr. Larijani, these 15 captives have been detained now for 11 days. Will they be freed or will they be tried?
برای 11 روز استش که این 15 تا ملوان دستگیر شدن، آیا اونها رو آزاد خواهید کرد یا مورد محاکمه قرار خواهند گرفت آقای دکتر لاریجانی؟
من قبلا راجع به این موضوع صحبت کردم.
I have talked about this issue earlier.
در واقع ما خوشحال نیستیم از اینکه بعضی از افراد انگلیسی
Indeed, we are not pleased to have some British citizens to be in our country as captives.
نوع دیگری عمل می‌کرد.
Maybe if the UK government would have acted otherwise, we would have not had the case dragged so long and settled so far. But you are aware of the fact that as soon as this incident happened, a harsh diplomatic atmosphere was created, and indeed the political tools came into being and being used. The meaning was our sovereignty was violated, our territorial water was violated, and we turn to be indebted now to these violations as well. And that was not a right appropriate move or attitude, and unfortunately some EU members also started taking position. And it was interesting for me that prior to know that they were in our territorial water or not, apparently they were amongst the people who could see the unseen, and they started to condemn Iran without knowing the fact. In other words, it means at EU, if a member would make a mistake, then the EU should support it, and that is the language of force. Therefore, the EU would have no different position or attitude as compared to the United States, trying to use the language of force.
Dr. Larijani, now that it's got to that pitch, now that it has got into this bad way diplomatically, as you describe it, what can be done now to diffuse this, to bring it back to something which will deliver their freedom?
که بشود آزاد کرد این افراد.
رفتار اشتباه را همیشه باید اشتباه رو حل کرد و برگشت به راه صحیح.
The wrong attitude should be corrected, coming back to the right path.
قبلا هم گفته بودیم که ما می‌خواستیم
Earlier I had said that even we wanted to release the lady who was amongst these sailors to be released.
اما وقتی مواجه شدیم با یه رفتار غیر منطقی
we faced an irrational move and attitude, we stopped that move.
ما راغبیم این مسئله حل بشه.
We would be interested in solving the problem, and the solution is quite clear that first of all we have to put aside the irrational moves and resorting to language of force. Second point, there is an incident, there is a difference of view between the UK government and Iranian government, and this issue should be resolved bilaterally. The first point is that they should clarify, identify the fact that whether they have been in our territorial water or not. In our view, they have been in our territorial water for 100%. The Geneva Convention, according to this convention, this has been a violation committed by the UK forces. The second point, a guarantee must be given that such violation would not be repeated. I would ask you this question: if a military force would violate your border, your territorial waters, would you give them chocolate in return? Or you would arrest them?
Well, the problem now,
exactly what we are asking.
But the problem now, Dr. Larijani,
keeping the British soldier in our country.
But the problem now is, are they going to be tried for this violation, or is it possible for Britain to apologize and maybe discuss with you a promise not to do this again? I mean, what are you offering tonight? They are saying there has been an improvement in Britain's stance. What is that improvement and what are you offering?
و شما پیشنهادتون چی هست؟
قطعاً اولویت برای ما اینه که تو یک
Definitely our priority is to solve the problem through proper diplomatic channels. We are not interested in having this issue get further complicated. There are two ways. One was through diplomatic negotiations between Iran and UK, or the opposite side wanted to use the language of force. The meaning is that the issue is not, they are not willing to solve the issue through the diplomatic negotiations.
But Dr. Larijani, the problem this end,
it is quite resolvable.
The problem this end, you said what would you feel like if Iranian forces came into British territorial waters? But I would ask you how you would feel if the families of Iranian soldiers saw their loved ones on the television making confessions which Mr. Blair has said fool no one. This is causing distress, but it's also not solving the problem.
اگر که شما جای فرمودید که در آبهای انگلیس کسی این خطا رو مرتکب شده بود، احساس شما در برابر خانواده هایی که می نشستن در مقابل تلویزیون و چنین اعترافاتی رو می دیدن که آقای بلر هم گفته این هیچ کسی رو نمیتونه گول بزنه چنین نمایش هایی، احساس شما در اون حالت چه بود؟
من فکر می‌کنم با یه ذهنیت غلطی داره قضاوت میشه.
I think the judgment is being made with a wrong mentality.
اگر شما سوال کردید که چطور میشه حل کرد، اینه که روش‌های اشتباه رو جلوش گرفت.
If you are asking how the issue could be resolved, then you have to look into rational ways.
سرزمین ما تجاوز کردن.
There is a clear violation of our territorial waters by these people.
یه عده‌ای از سیاستمداران در خارج از این منطقه بدون مطالعه این کیس
A group of politicians outside this region, however, have had some assertion without having proper knowledge of the issue. And the people who have been involved in this matter, the officers and the other personnel amongst these sailors, when they saw the maps, they said we were in Iran's territorial waters. Mr. Snow, also we are not living in Stone Age. The electronic systems, the GPS has clearly pinpointed their presence and as to where they have entered our waters.
Dr. Larijani,
now why are we complicating further the issue? By such position taken by such politicians, can you just dissolve the result of the GPS
But the problem is that these confessions every night are not moving anything.